Welcome to the Pilot Podcast,
where we review the pilot episodes of TV shows to answer your question, should I watch this?
My name is Mitu.
And my name is BJ.
And this week, we're watching the listener-recommended Lanterns on HBO.
So stay tuned to find out if Mitu wants to be a detective.
Okay, I'll let you know what I want to be on this show. Until then, why don't you tell us what's going on with these interstellar peacekeepers?
Sure, you're referring to the Green Lanterns. They are interstellar peacekeepers who wear rings that give them extraordinary powers. And this series follows experienced Lantern Hal Jordan, played by Kyle Chandler, and new recruit Jon Stewart, played by Aaron Pierre, as they investigate a murder in Rushville, Nebraska, which Hal believes is an extraterrestrial incident, and this leads them to darker mysteries and reckonings.
Okay, that's the thing that confused me about this first episode. I am not exactly comic book hive. I'm not as familiar with the superhero stories, but at this point, we've watched a few of these, at least in the Marvel world. Actually, quite a few, I would say, in the DC world as well. This one confused me because it was True Detective, but with a little bit of superpowers.
It is unexpected that they're taking this more grounded approach. I'm not really sure where this fits into DC as they're rebuilding their superhero universe.
Yeah.
But we have minimal superhero action, and it's all about solving crimes, working with local police, and questions of who has authority in this district.
And I thought that was interesting. Like, for Superhero Hive, maybe y'all would be a little bit miffed. I like a disillusioned cop trying to figure things out, disillusioned investigator. I especially like in a procedural when the person is not a cop, but they have some kind of kooky skill that they bring to the table. In this instance, it's a deep familiarity with aliens and being an inter-universe peacekeeper. So I was confused, but I liked it. I liked the push and pull of power with the sheriff, Carrie Kane, played by Kelly MacDonald, with the ookie spooky around her father-in-law, and not ookie spooky in he might be an alien way, but in a small town bureaucracy and a man who appears to be running it way. I like the way her husband fit in between as a defense attorney. I thought it was fun, all of these True Detective-like twists in Nebraska. Surprisingly diverse town as well, based on a hookup we see in this first episode.
That's Rushville.
Yes, if there were any place that I would assume a really diverse square mile, it would be, what was it?
Rushville, Nebraska.
Rushville, Nebraska.
Very diverse, and I think it's a good backdrop for Hal and John with these cases, because like you said, there's so many classic detective true crime tropes where Hal is the more experienced and seasoned detective, and then we have John, who's the new recruit who is eager to learn more, and we find out he was selected for the job by Hal's bosses, essentially. So Hal doesn't even really seem to want him there that much, and is kind of forced into bringing him along.
Yeah, they don't like each other. And it honestly made me think of Mindhunter. Again, another dark crime show with grizzled crime solvers. Not at all a superhero show, but it was a similar dynamic. And I liked that. I thought it made for an interesting conflict because then we have this dynamic where Hal is not really training John the way that I think he should be, or I assume he should be. I've never been a superhero, so I don't know what y'all are supposed to be doing.
Oh.
But I feel like at some point, John should learn to fly and should get a pass at the ring and figure some things out beyond just lighting the cigarettes of beautiful women.
So this is a mild spoiler, listener, so be warned.
Okay.
Even Hal surprised Hal at his lack of training of John.
That's true. Even he was like, I didn't get to that yet. And John was like, no. That's another theme of this is John is searching for a father. We see in the first scene a flashback of him as a child. And he has this dynamic with his father, played by J. Alphonse Nicholson, where there is love there, I think, but it is strange and a bit violent and scary.
Yep.
And unpredictable, which is not any descriptor you want to use for a parental figure.
No, I saw that scene thinking this would be an abusive parent situation.
Yes.
And yet John seems to think highly of his father. Something we need to get into next are different timelines. We see that John continues to care about his father's opinion and look to him for support. So they really surprised us with that take on a father-son dynamic.
Yeah, it was very confusing to see, in addition to the time jumps being confusing and the fact that this was True Detective superhero being confusing. I also was like, oh, so we like him. Like, we like the dad. Okay, sounds good. And then he's, of course, looking for that father figure in Hal. He's really looking for anyone. He even looked at that, like, oogie spooky father-in-law, William, played by Garrett Dillahunt. Maybe you could be my daddy. He was kind of looking around, trying to find some kind of stable figure. The other theme within that father-son dynamic throughout, like with all of these different people, was this question of, are you afraid? Like proving that he's not afraid.
John has this kind of uncanny skill of not being perturbed, not being shaken.
Yeah.
And I think that was drilled into him by his father of the lesson, never be afraid. And a lot of stuff happens this episode where you should be afraid. I think a little fear is useful, can also keep you safe.
Hey, as someone driven by their anxiety, I can only agree. And Hal says something, again, light spoiler, y'all, but there's something about to qualify as a Green Lantern, you have to say, I'm not afraid, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a theme for the role he's desiring in addition to the way that he was raised. But something that the sheriff, Carrie, said that stuck out to me is she said about Hal, the first time he started up to me, I could tell he doesn't care about anybody and nobody cares about him. He's not fearless. He's lonely.
And I think that was very recognizable. Hal seems a little reckless. He seems maybe even a little afraid to be attached to people.
Yeah.
Because he gets along with John, but is also pushing John away. And he's sort of lucky that John's like, this must be part of my training, so I will sit here and put up with it, and eventually it'll all work out.
And here's what I'll say about that, too. Shout out to Kyle Chandler. Shout out to my boyfriend, Aaron Pierre. Shout out to my other boyfriend, J. Alphonse Nicholson. I feel like that could have been very boring.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it could be boring to watch Hal intentionally have a wall up. So then you, as the viewer, in addition to the characters on screen, you're having trouble connecting with this guy by choice. Like, he clearly has this sheen, this cool guy persona that he's put on. But he plays it in such a layered way that you can tell in the way that it's conveyed. Maybe he's scared. Maybe there's more to this. This is a persona. There's more here. And then same with John, where he's, again, this unflappable cool guy, just ridiculous, wild stuff happens around him. Beyond the crime solving, there's like a couple superhero moments. He takes them in total stride, having never seen anything like that before.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be boring too. That has the potential to be boring, to watch someone be kind of chill or even about all that. But again, Aaron Pierre plays the role with such a longing. Like, he's longing to be this hero, longing to show that he is strong, longing for this father figure, that you feel that striving, and that is what has at least me leaning forward.
Yes, John comes across as rigid, but not stoic. Like, you can tell he's feeling things, but also restraining himself. And that complexity makes him interesting. And Hal is interesting in that you can tell that something or someone has hurt him in his past, and he's running away from that essentially. And yet he's not like a complete mess, maybe just a little bit, because you see how skilled he is at using the ring whenever he decides to, not often enough. And when it comes to solving cases, he knows what's happening.
And that's the issue, not using the ring enough. That is my one critique of this show that we keep coming back to. The characters are so interesting. They've set this story up to be layered. You lean in, you want to know what's happening in this mystery. You want to know what's happening with these people. I needed more of the superpowers. Like, it was cool to see Hal be able to get himself out of a pickle because of the unique ability of this Green Lantern ring, which is whatever you desire essentially comes out of it. That's cool. I needed to see more of that. I wish I had seen like a little more to understand and the extent of the power of this thing. Maybe I get to see him go head to head with some kind of entity. I just wanted more.
But you got to see Hal fly and create a bottle opener. What more do you need?
He flew to some tacos.
And he flew to Nebraska.
All right. He flew to Nebraska. He flew to tacos. And he pulled a bottle opener out of his ring. I think I needed a bit more. And John, of course, used the ring to light a cigarette.
Yeah. And Hal even said he doesn't like wearing his superhero costume anymore. So we don't even get that.
Yes, they were just dudes in utility jackets and jeans.
Which I think is clever writing to avoid the spandex superhero outfits.
That's true. Put Aaron Pierre in spandex, though. Let's be very serious right now.
Have him wear the costume.
Let him wear the costume. Yeah. That needs to be soon.
Well, he needs the ring. So that's this whole story we're seeing through 3 different timelines where we're following Jon Stewart. And he is in every stage looking up to and wanting to follow in Hal's footsteps. And yet we don't see him as the Green Lantern yet.
He doesn't see himself as that because he's not. I mean, he's in training, but the training is lacking.
Just give him the ring. See what happens.
And the spandex suit. Don't forget that.
It's a pair, so combo deal.
It's a set, yes.
Set.
One necessitates the other.
He could probably just create a suit with the ring.
Yes, hopefully.
What do you think about the different timelines as we kind of follow John throughout his life?
I thought it was interesting, but I thought it was confusing. The timelines I thought we could either have done without or we needed a bit more clarity in the jumps.
Yeah, I don't think it added as much as the writers may have wanted in this pilot episode.
Yes.
I did like seeing some of John's youth with his family. I am a little concerned about which timeline we'll focus more on, whether it's 2016 or 2026, because that might affect how interesting the mysteries are.
And in one of them, John has facial hair, and the other one he doesn't. I'm not sure which I prefer, but just noting that for close viewers.
I did not even pick up on that.
Yes. Guess you were not looking as closely at Aaron Pierre's face. That's fine.
The sad part is I'm not even sure which timeline he might have had the facial hair.
No, I'll tell you after. I wouldn't want to spoil it.
Interesting. Okay, so he changes up his look to emphasize time has passed.
Just a little bit.
Clever.
And the way he dresses changes. He dresses a bit more maturely in the jump forward. I don't think that's a big spoiler.
Wow, you picked up on a lot of details.
Yeah, I was looking.
So, will you keep looking at Lanterns on HBO?
Yes, and not just because 2 of my boyfriends are on this set. I will watch Lanterns again seriously because it is a compelling mystery. This first episode needed more superpowers, so for Superhero Hive, I assume more superpowers are coming, so I suggest you stick with it. But for non-Superhero Hive, but anyone who likes a true detective-like show, I think you'll find this very interesting.
I think this is a would watch while cooking. I am in that Superhero Hive category that needs more superhero action and superpowers. I like that it's a solid crime-solving detective show, but I think the fact that they're teasing the superpowers and the ring makes me a little disappointed after this pilot episode.
Fair.
So Mitu, do you want to be a detective?
No, I would be John's wife on Lanterns.
I guess.
Like if I had to be in the universe, but not in Nebraska.
Well,
that's where he goes for work. I'm at home.
So long distance marriage?
With love to Nebraska, I just don't want to go to that town that has a population of what appears to be 25 people, and now several of them have been killed.
It's very diverse.
It's very diverse with a lot of murder victims.
Very passionate high school football fans.
And I'm not a big football person, so I can just be home, send my husband off to work, kind of do my thing.
Let the crimes solve themselves.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to hear about more potential career paths for Mitu or just our thoughts on TV shows, head to our website at thepilotpodcast.com, and you can follow us on all of your favorite podcast platforms.
You can also follow us on social media at The Pilot Pod, and you can send thoughts, feelings, show recommendations, because every other week, just like this one, we do a show recommended by you, our wonderful listeners, to askthepilotpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.
Bye.